Hey, welcome to Romance Happy Hour. I'm Dylann Crush, and I am here with my co-hostess, Dawn Ludicky, over here. And tonight we have Danika Bloom and Liz Alden joining us, and both are repeat guests. You've been here before, so it's fun to see familiar faces. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fun to be back.
Yeah. And we were just commenting before we went live. I know if you're listening to the podcast, you can't see this, but Danika is actually wearing hot pink and has a hot pink chair, and her name on the screen is in hot pink, and she's got like a teal wall behind her. So we were joking that she wins the award for being the most representative of the Romance Happy Hour brand. Although we'd all much rather be where Liz is because she's on a sailboat.
I know. So true.
Yeah.
So we're glad to have you with us. And I see Karen is back. I know, Karen, it's been forever. So we're glad to have you back tonight. Dawn, why don't you give us, I know you handled everything by yourself last time because I had a family, actually had a funeral to go to. So I was out of town. And so thank you for doing that. It looks like everybody had a good time. But I haven't talked to you like a month. So what's going on?
So I actually got a book written. I'm pretty proud of myself. I just gotta say, it's been a while, and it's off to the editor and it's due Monday. So I'll be editing all weekend. But it's a firefighter book as well. And Danika, you said you're going to be reading some firefighters today. So yeah. And my agent came back to me and she had read I got a new agent again, and it's a long story, but she had read my historical proposal that I had out with my last agent. And she said, oh my gosh, this is your voice. Let's do this. And so now I am circling back to my roots, and I'm so excited about it because it's like a historical rom-com, and I'm so excited to write historical again. Oh my gosh, I love historical. So that's what I'm starting. I'm working on.
Is it American historical again?
American historical, yes, because I guess it's kind of picking up again. It hasn't died, according to what my old publisher told me. And so it's starting to pick up again. I think probably thanks to Yellowstone, I would say a little bit.
Right.
But
no kidding.
Yeah. So yeah, and I'm pretty excited to get that started here this week.
Yay!
And then I've got Must Love Pause is going to be releasing this year. I just I don't know yet on my indie backlist or indie list, but yeah, and then I got to release another firefighter book due at the end of the year. At the end of the year. Sorry, not month. Oh my gosh, that would be horrible. So, Dylann, you've been crazy. You've been really way busier than me, according to your deadlines.
A little bit.
So.
Yeah, it's been a busy couple months. I was in Denver for Readers Take Denver, and then and college visits with my junior in high school. So that was fun. And then ever since I got back from that, it's just been nonstop. Casey Rose was here last week, and we put together all the packages for our Kickstarter. So that was fun. That was super busy, and I've heard from some of our readers that they've been getting those, and it's been a blast to see their pictures. And so she left, I think, Saturday afternoon. I dropped her off at the airport. We stopped by the post office and the UPS office on the way. So that was kind of a whirlwind. And then I had a book that had to be uploaded today. So that's the next one in our Mountain Men of Mustang Mountain series. And that one comes out on Monday. May is for Mac.
Nice. Wow.
So,
yay.
Yeah, so it's been rather busy. And then I go to North Iowa Book Bash. I don't know if any of our listeners will be there, but that's on Saturday. I know some people will probably be headed to a Polycon as well, because there's two big signings this weekend. And well, North Iowa Book Bash isn't a big signing, but it's super close to me, and I always have a good time there. A Polycon is a big signing. So yeah. And then I don't know. we have so much going on this summer. It feels like that summer's already over and it hasn't even started yet. So
That just sounds exhausting to me.
Right?
Yeah.
Mm.
I've got the Spartan race on Monday or on next weekend, and I am
Oh, for
running
Mother's
the
Day?
10K. Yeah, and
Mother's Day race?
I've got yep. It's for charity for we're doing it for charity for housing crisis, but I'm doing the 10K and I'm not ready. So I mean that's the start of my summer. That's how it's starting out. And
Can you crawl
I
it,
gotta-
or do they look down on that? Like,
you can definitely crawl it. You can crawl it as long as you do 30 burpees every time you don't do an obstacle. So I've been also
there's
working on my burpees.
obstacles? What the heck?
Yeah.
Isn't running bad enough?
I know.
We-
Yeah. So we did the 5K last year and that was great. I mean, it was a lot of fun. And my husband's like, let's challenge yourself. It's 10K. And I'm like, I could do this. I can run. And I haven't been able to run very often. I can do 6 miles, but I don't know about 6 miles and 25 obstacles. So we'll see if I survive next week. If I'm not here next episode, Dylan, you know I'm dead somewhere in Kalispell or you know up there like Big Fork.
At least
where
it was his idea, and so you can always blame him.
Right.
Yeah,
I can. Yeah, and then I have my sister, but she's super motivational. So, but she's like a little runner, so I know she'll do it. But she's always like, "Let's go." You know those annoying like.
That's my sister too. She runs. Oh, here's the words. You know, those things that you're talking about for fun.
Marathons.
Marathons. Thank you. She runs marathons for fun. I don't run the block. Like that was my big fail as a firefighter. Yeah. Burpees as a firefighter training, like honest to God, kill me. They were horrible.
No.
Well, and then I've got a daughter looking at colleges, so we're going to be going to do that this summer as well. So we've got scheduling some college tours. That's why I was like, oh, Dylan, I'm going to be doing the college tour thing this year. So
those are exhausting too. I don't know. Everything's exhausting lately. Of course, I guess if you're running like 10Ks, then you probably have better stamina than I do, so they won't be as bad for you.
I can do 10K. Just I don't know about those obstacles. I just want to remind our viewers that if you're joining us and for some reason it says, can you like show us your name? You have to opt in to show us your name. We do have some Facebook users on there. I don't know why. Sometimes our regular viewers, it does that too. So just wanted to remind you. So I'm going to toss it back to you.
All right. Well, yeah, I want to hear from Danika and Liz if you want to, give us a little update on what you've been up to since you were on the show last and tell us a little bit about what's going on with your writing life and if you have any 10Ks or book signings in your future.
No. I actually,
you can go first.
my 26-year-old moved home in January for many reasons. And then his car needs a big giant brake job. So he's been driving he's like, Mom, can I take your car to work? Which is in the city. So it's an hour drive, which is perfect for me because it's the perfect excuse for me to say no to everything. Don't have a car. Sorry. So no, I have no plans to leave this office, this beautiful blue office in my lovely pink chair. But I've been working on, so the last time I was here, I actually read from the book that I anticipated launching at the beginning of the year and didn't. So now I've got a date of July 10th for The Billionaire's Shrubbery and excited about that. And I've been working on a co-write with Mia Harlan. She writes, I love Mia. She writes a lot of PNR, reverse harem, but she's moved into rom-com. And so we're doing, and Mia by day is a librarian. So we co-wrote a duet. We're probably going to do a third book, which they're novellas with a librarian and a billionaire hero. So very, very fun. She wrote the librarian scenes. I wrote because obviously I can embody a billionaire hero. So those were mine. Anyway, those will be coming out, I hope I don't even know what month we are. Hopefully in May, we'll get those out. We're
almost in May.
I know we're almost in May. So hopefully
Monday. Can you believe it?
Crazy.
Soon. Anyway, that's what I've been working on, and having just a ton of fun. Not leaving my house still.
We're down a car still too, and so yeah, when my kiddo takes the car to school, because then if she takes the car to school, then that means I don't have to drive her. And yeah, I don't really like to leave my house that much either. So it's a good excuse to be
It is a great
back home.
excuse.
I can appreciate that. So how about you, Liz? You are well, you take your home with you, don't you?
I take my
Yeah.
home with me everywhere, pretty much. I live on a sailboat and am currently in the Bahamas. So it's very beautiful, which is nice. I was just looking up because I was like, oh my gosh, when was the last time I was on the show? And it was July. So it's been a while. And since then, I released a Christmas novella called Nutcracker with Benefits, which is really fun. And in January, I had a release called The Rival in South Africa, which is like a only one tent safari forced proximity romance. And then Tuesday, the book that I'm reading today came out, which is called Rosé with My Fake Fiancé. And it's the first book in a later in life romance series that's kind of based on Sex and the City in Europe. And yeah. And then actually, as far as my writing progress goes, I'm ahead of schedule for the next book in the series, which comes out in June. So
Wow.
that's
What
really
does that
fun.
feel like?
I know.
Yeah.
Well, the sad thing is that I wrote both Rosé with My Fake Fiancé and Riesling with my roommate last spring. And it just took me this long to get them both cranking out. So I had a very busy summer last year. So yeah.
Okay, but busy doing what? Like really cool stuff that we're all jealous of?
No,
On your sailboat? Or writing?
We hauled our boat out and did 3 months of boat projects. So it was like 60 hours every week working in the yard, which was
So yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say
boat
that's
yard.
a very non-glamorous part of our life. Yeah,
Yeah.
the boat yard.
Yeah.
I remember
was gonna
last
say,
time you were here, you were at an Airbnb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because that was where I was. We did the show in July. Yeah, I was at an Airbnb and working in the boat all the time. So yeah.
So I was going to say, being in the Coast Guard, yeah, I know a little bit how it feels being out to sea and on land. So how long does it take you to get your land legs back? Lose your sea legs and
I haven't lost sea legs in a while. I've lived on my boat. I've lived on my boat for 8.5 years.
yeah.
But although during COVID we lived on land around the country in the United States for 11 months, so there's no difference for me anymore. They feel the same.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
You don't like lean a little bit when you're walking down the pier, you know?
No.
Nice.
The first ocean passage we did, we arrived in Miami after 26 days at sea, and we went out for pizza that night. And I was like, oh, this is sea legs. Feels weird. But it hasn't happened since then.
Yeah, nice. That's good. Very acclimated.
Drink wine with your pizza, then maybe it evens out.
Yeah, you walk like this going in, and then you walk like this going out.
Yeah. For real.
Well, just a reminder to anybody joining us tonight, if you have questions for our guests, go ahead and post them in the comments. And Danika, you said that you would be willing to read first.
I am willing to read first because then I can relax and listen to Liz, which makes me excited.
That's right. I know that's what I always like to do. Just get it over with. And
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to be so nervous. But I mean, there's no reason to be nervous.
I
It's just
know.
romance happy hour. And
Yeah.
no matter what happens,
It's a big deal. I branded for this. It's a big deal.
You did.
Yeah.
So do you need to set up anything for us? Are you
Just
starting at chapter 1 or
No, I'm going to start at chapter 5. So that's the book, Kristen, Cheeky with the Fire Chief, and it's got its 3-year anniversary. That's the first romance I published on Firefighter Day, International Firefighter Day, or National, in 2020, May the 4th. And so I'm going to start at chapter 5 because that's where Nick and Sophie are. They've already had their meet cute. There was a car accident. Nick was driving to a job interview. He's a first responder. He's a career firefighter. And so, of course, he had to get out and help. Sophie is in the volunteer fire department, and she was a first responder and the IC, the incident commander. So that's where they met for the first time. It was very brief. It was all very stressful. They go away. This is chapter 5. And he has said, I will come to your little village, not realizing that she is expecting to get the chief job. She does not realize that he's an external candidate who actually was just offered the job of chief. So there is this secret as they meet. Okay.
All right. We will leave you to it, and we'll be back when you're done.
Thank you. All right. I stood. Oh, this is Nick's point of view chapter. I stood just inside the front door. Sophie's voice carried through the training hall, as clear as if she was standing beside me in the same room. An external? You hired an aestheticalis external candidate? I thought it was just a formality, you know, show that there was the appearance of fair competition or something. The door flew open and Sophie exploded into the room like a Mentos mint dropped in a bottle of Diet Coke. She didn't see me and turned back toward the office. You think for 1 minute I'm going to cooperate with your canard external foutu hire of my job for my job? You're delusional. In fact, if you think anyone in this department is going to welcome an outsider with open arms, I'm going to recommend you see a neurologist because it is my professional opinion that you, sir, have brain damage. She turned and stormtroopered her way toward the exit, stopping dead in her tracks when she saw me. Shoot, we said at the same time. So I was at a loss, not sure at all how to proceed. This was an emergency scenario I had never practiced. A quick survey of the patient. She was agitated, heart rate high, likely not seeing very clearly. How about I drive? Seemed like the safest call. Good idea, she said, voice full of rage. We drove in silence for a full 10 minutes. What could I say? Hey, sorry you got screwed out of a job you thought was yours. I hope you'll change your mind and show me the ropes. Turn left at the lights. I looked at her and she smiled. She was breaking my heart with her sad smile, those eyes, gray, green, and gorgeous. Here, she pointed at a seedy-looking bar. It's a dive. That's so I won't meet anyone I know. She led us to the table at the back corner by the pool. She led us to the pool tables at the back corner. Come here often? I tried to joke. Only when I'm on a date with a guy I'm too embarrassed to be seen with. She actually laughed. I grabbed my chest and feigned deep hurt. What can I get you? Rum and Coke, no ice, a double? Do you mind? I'll pay you back. I waved her off and went to the bar, ordered a drink and a Pilsner for myself. So I put the drinks down and held my breath. I wanted her to finish her drink fast. First, so she wouldn't have anything to throw at me. And second, because I figured she was a lightweight drunk. I hoped a happy one. So, she said, what you saw back there, it didn't happen. I don't want to talk about it or think about it. Deal? I nodded. I followed her. If I followed her rules, she couldn't then want to kill me when she found out I was the guy she had the hate on for. Could she? Sorry, I can't help you with that paperwork on the kid. I said, not sure if she'd want to talk about anything related to the department, but also not sure what else we could talk about. They'll call you if they have questions, but wait a minute, you know that. You do this way more often than I do. I could see the penny drop. She smiled. Why did you offer to come up? Wait, is this a date? She was adorable. I made a face. No way. When I take a woman on a date, she doesn't have to sanitize her hands before touching the entrance door. No, this is definitely not a date. Don't think for a nanosecond that that's what this is. It would ruin my reputation as a suave and debonair calendar quality firefighter. Oh my God, full of yourself much? Debonair? Are you 12? I shrugged. It's a French word. I thought you'd know it. And aren't all men really 12 when you strip away the muscle and the 5 o'clock shadow? I flexed my pecs for effect. So, Nick, full of himself, calendar quality firefighter. And I'm not arguing the calendar thing, by the way. In fact, never mind. She blushed and looked away. Tell me about yourself. You from Vancouver? Got brothers and sisters? What's your sign? Straight to the heart. The important stuff. Okay. Born and bred in East Van. I'm an only child. But I also have 3 to 5 brothers, depending on how you count them. She raised an eyebrow. Long, boring story. Needs a spreadsheet. And I'm an Aquarian. How about you? Well, born and raised right here in the Sea to Sky. Left for a few years, well, 10 years actually, and came back 2 years ago to take care of Papa after Mom died. I've got 8 brothers and sisters, but I'm also more like an only child. She pointed at me like she knew her family story was as good as mine. And I'm on the cusp. Some years I'm an Aquarian, other years I'm a Pisces. So you're complicated. I prefer multifaceted or unpredictable. How long have you been a volunteer first responder? Just 2 years. Damn, you're a good IC, given you've only got 2 years experience. Thank you for noticing. And I would have been a darn good chief, too. She gave me a scowl and finished off her drink. Another one, I offered, feeling a punch of guilt. By the time I had her second drink in her hand, she'd racked the pool table. Bet I can beat you. What's the bet? She thought for a second, her smile growing. Winner gets to decide after they win. Unpredictable indeed. All right, I'll take that bet, but you break. Deal? What, you're just going to hand me the game? She laughed and shook her head. No, ladies first, I mean. Sophie rolled her eyes. So how do you have 8 brothers and sisters? I asked. Well, my parents just loved kids and always wanted 8 of them. But number 9? Yeah, I was a seriously late in the game oops. My next closest sibling is 10 years older than me. She's 34. And wrap your head around this one. My eldest brother, 54. That's older than my mom. And you know what? Every last one of them is a canard. Translation, bleep. All 8 of them? All 8 of them? She broke the triangle of balls and pocketed a solid. Papa died a month ago. She lifted a plastic glass to the ceiling and said, cheers, Papa. I love you. And then continued. And I just found out that I'm not named in the will. Oh, that's brutal. She stood back, eyed the table, and walked around it as she spoke. Sure is. It was dated 2 years before I was born. Just a dumb oversight. But my brothers and sisters are claiming that since I'm not named, I have no right to share in the inheritance. And she pointed her pool cue at my chest and poked me gently. They're kicking me out of the family home unless I can pay market rent, which is like $2,000 a month. Without the job as chief, I'm screwed. I was counting on that salary. She pointed out her shot, took it, and missed. But I'm not talking about that tonight. Your turn, Peckman, she said, bumping me with her hip. God, I loved how playful she was. How could I take this job now? I'd have to wear the guilt of her being evicted from her family home on top of stealing her job. I scoped the table and took a shot and missed. She cleared all but one ball from the table. I suspect this is hard for you, losing to a girl who happens to have earned a rank in a fire department in just 2 years of service. Oh, that little jab at my position stung. My chest tightened and I clenched my teeth and my fists. I bet my nostrils flared too. I spoke slowly to make my point. The difference, I said, between a volunteer and a career firefighter. As I spoke, Sophie, who'd been standing a few feet in front of me, turned to face the pool table and then fell backwards towards me. I caught her easily and lifted her into a cradle hold. She looked up laughing. The difference is that you're a trained professional who knows exactly what to do in an emergency. Thank you for making my point for me. And I just play the part on TV. But I'm a trained pool shark. So she wiggled out of my arms and dropped back to her feet. If you want to end the game now, I'm happy to walk away and call it a draw. Oh, I am not sure if she realized it, but this firecracker was seriously skilled in anticipating an emergency situation and changing the direction before it happened. I stared at her, processing what I was feeling, which was that I wished I could wake up in a parallel universe where Sophie and I would have a chance at hanging out again, getting to know each other, and maybe even, no, definitely making love. Making love? What the heck? When did I make love? Hello, Sophie said. Should I take my shot or do you want to call this game? She pulled me back to the moment. What? And miss what I'm hoping is a spectacular victory dance? No, wait, bring it. And then tell me what I lose in this bet. I am on the edge of my seat. 8 ball, far left, she said. She made the shot and this time jumped into my arms. Before I had a chance to react, she dropped her mouth onto mine and gave me an I could hold her here all night kiss. And just as my thoughts turned dark and dirty, she pushed herself away and sat down at the table as if nothing had happened. I walked over and sat across from her. Not what I was expecting. So what is it I supposedly lost in this bet? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like I'm the big winner. That, Calendar Man, was just a test to see if you were worthy of your punishment for thinking that you could beat me. And did I pass? The way she jumped away from me, I feared I'd failed. She bit her bottom lip and then murmured through her teeth, flying colors. Oh, thank goodness, because you know I don't do well with failure. So what's the punishment? You have to come back to my place and take off your... She looked me up and down in a way that made me feel totally objectified. Don't say shoes, please say pants. Your shirt, and pose for me so I can have my own personal calendar fireman photo to hang in my... She stopped again and was smiling so hard I had to laugh. On your ceiling? I offered. Yes, on my ceiling. That's what you've lost. Your soul to a photograph. I shall stop there. Thank you.
Sorry, I'm unmuting everybody and putting Dawn back in because she booted herself out.
Yeah, we did.
There we go.
Oh my gosh,
Thank
so love
you.
it, love it, love it.
you.
So good.
Thank you.
What I think I enjoyed most was you looked like you were actually having a conversation with two people because you kept turning
No.
and talking
Yeah,
one
did so great.
direction to the other. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
So, but what cute banter. I mean, I don't know. I love, that internal dialogue that's happening as well. So you get a peek at what's going on in their heads. But
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
that
So
was
I
cool.
mean, you had such great banter and such great expressions that it was commented several times, but we did have one question specifically for you, which was, why would her family be so mean? Because she's not in the will doesn't make her not family.
Well, there's
So
a
can you
story
answer
that no, because it'll be a spoiler. So it's part of the whole, she's the fact that she's so much younger, her siblings never got to know her at all. And then there's secrets, lots of secrets in this story.
Families can be complicated.
They
Not just multifaceted, but I love that part too. But also complicated. So
yeah. Sorry, book tease. Yes, I'm sorry.
I love that, Jennifer. You're such a book tease. No, that was I really enjoyed that. And I saw a couple of questions come in. Are you on it again, Dawn? It looks like it.
I'm on it. Yep.
Access.
I got my
You're off
pen.
probation and you have power again.
Yeah, I do. Yep. I got
Sometimes
my
we have
paper
to
and
cut
my
Dawn
pen.
off, depending on what's going on. Although it's still early in the show, so
yeah, I haven't had too much yet. Wine.
Too much happy in the romance happy hour.
Too much happy in the hour. Yeah. All right. So describe your perfect writing space.
Oh,
your perfect
my
writing
perfect,
space or your
exactly.
actual
Okay,
writing space?
okay. Let's do both since I added perfect. So let's
you're embellishing. You're embellishing the question.
I kind of like
I'm an
it.
author. That's what we do.
Right. I actually got a little bit towards perfect a couple of months ago because I've been writing on 2 10-year-old MacBooks. Two of them because neither of them could manage to survive a whole day with all the programs, right? Like one got email, one of them gets the internet, one of them gets Scrivener, the other. So eventually, like in the fall, I managed to, what am I saying in the fall? In the winter, in February, I managed to have saved enough money to get myself an iMac. So I have this beautiful, and you'll never guess what color it is. Guess what color it is?
Pink.
Yes. How did you guess? Yeah. How did you know? You're psychic. So
I know. I channeled that.
So, and this chair is also quite new. It's a very comfy chair. It kind of it rotate it so it works my core while I'm sitting. So I'm getting pretty close to having my perfect writing space. All I need is someone to come in and tidy my desk for me every day. That would be really lovely, because right there is a bit of a mess I don't like to look at.
I mean,
Yeah.
is there any way you can like get your husband to do it for you?
Oh, good. No.
Can you bribe him in any way?
I wouldn't want that. And then
Okay.
Come on, Dawn. That isn't this kind of show. We're not that kind of show.
I mean, like.
Yeah. No, and this is it's a spare bedroom. This my office is a spare bedroom, and because I am menopausal or postpartum, whatever the heck it is, I sleep very poorly. So, and when Dave snores, I'll like nudge him to like stop snoring, and he sleeps in my office more often than in our bedroom. So I've got this bed. No, I don't want him clearing my desk as well as sleeping in my office. And
that's true.
But yeah. Anyway. So
do you have a cot laid out for him, or does he sleep on the floor?
It's a bed. No, it's a bed.
Good.
There's a couch that converts into a bed, and it just stays a bed all the time.
I was worried. I was like, because I for a second I thought of him like curled up on your desk.
I kind of like that idea, like a cat
on the floor.
Get out!
I'm glad there's a bed in there.
There's a bed. Yeah. Anyway,
that's funny.
Me.
And what about you, Liz?
I actually have a terrible writing space. I am sitting in my writing space right now. It's basically a couch, and I have a extra cushion here to give me a little bit more back support. And it's actually something we're going to try to work on this year, because it would be great to have an office chair. Boats are just not very ergonomic. And I'm really like struggling with my neck sometimes and with my shoulders because I don't have an armrest. So I don't have a good writing space. But my perfect writing space, I don't know if y'all have seen this, but some people build writing sheds.
Like a she shed.
Yeah, like a she shed, and it's for writing. And I would adore having one of those, but as I have no land,
I was gonna say
I will not be getting a she shed.
Could you get like a writing dinghy, and you could just like trail it behind your sailboat, like a little roof on it or something? Or
okay, so now I'm picturing like a raft with a she shed on it. You can buy one of those ones from Home Depot and just plunk it on there, and we'll drag it behind our boat, which is going to work really well when we sail across the Atlantic Ocean.
Right. I'm sure there'd be no drag with that at all.
Yeah. It's not like an anchor at all.
You could get it to be like aerodynamic too, with a point on the front. So
right. Yeah. Right. Or how about a submarine? A she shed.
Yeah. Oh, that's even better, because then you're completely like cut out. She sub. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, you have to invent that.
How would the Wi-Fi be down there, do you think?
No, you wouldn't have Wi-Fi.
We have Starlink, and I'm very impressed with how far. Actually, that's the router right there. I'm very impressed with how far the router goes.
Okay.
So, oh my gosh, I'm really impressed that you have Starlink in the middle of the ocean and that it works. I mean, I can't even get it in my house because there's trees in the way.
Exactly. We're the same.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I will say, in the past, before we had Starlink, when you're offshore, the only option is something like 14 kilobytes speed, which is nothing. So you send and receive text emails. This is a game changer for us, which is really cool. And everybody else who wants to work from their boat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say though, back to that submarine idea. I mean, you could, if you can't get Starlink down there, it's like the perfect place to go where you can't get distracted. Like you're down in the water. Yeah, no distractions.
True.
It's literally the writing cave of the ocean.
Except if you have a window, and then what if there's stuff swimming past you all the time?
Yeah. And when a sexy merman swims by, I mean, that's going to be
Aquaman. Holy shit.
So. Go on.
I'm sorry. You knew it was happening.
Time. Every single time. Teasing.
I was going to say Aquaman,
Yeah. Yep. Well, next year, when you come back next time, we will fully expect a different set behind you,
Yeah.
and you might have to fake it because
Okay, so
I expect you to be in a submarine or on a she dinghy. Sorry.
I actually think we should put a requirement out for Liz, so that just Liz specific, so that every time she comes on the show, she has to have her actual setting behind her, because we would love to all be pretending that we're in the Bahamas with you.
True.
I mean, if
Yeah.
we saw the
Wow.
palm trees and like the I mean, it's not daylight there, but
I think it's
like
dark there
anything
now,
in the
Dawn.
background. Yeah, it's
It is.
dark.
It
Dang
is
it.
dark. You know what? I wonder if I can pull something up real quick. Hang on. Let's see. This is probably going to take too long, but yeah, it is dark right now. So that is a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Maybe
But
she can
next time
post.
that it's not, we would like to live vicariously through you. We're just saying. So, like,
That's fair.
if you would
I
accommodate us.
I will try to deliver next time.
She can always post a picture of her location in the
Yeah.
comment.
Let's do that.
That's
Yeah,
true.
for sure. Because I think we're getting close to her reading time too.
Yes.
So once we get that up, I don't know if viewers can like watch her setting at the same time you're listening to her reading, but that might help. Like whatever picture she's posting. I mean,
Okay. I don't. Where would I post it?
Oh, just
I don't
on
know.
probably just in the comments of the show on the Romance
Yeah.
Happy Hour Facebook page.
Okay.
You can go post it there. This isn't like Zoom where I don't think you can upload a virtual background on here.
I think I can,
Oh.
but
Can
my file image size is too big. It's a whole thing, y'all.
I understand.
I'm unprepared. So
Mhm.
sorry.
Well, we did kind of
Oh
spring.
yeah, yeah, Dylan, I just clicked on it. It does say virtual background.
Oh, well, then you wouldn't have to look at my dirty office.
We're gonna have to try that out next time.
We'll have to check that out.
For real.
You know,
All right.
Yeah, we'll
what
check
would
it out.
actually be more appropriate would be to everybody think of Paris, because that's the setting for this book. So,
Ooh,
Oh,
that would be
okay.
fun.
and I'm sure everybody has a pretty good idea of what Paris looks like.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are
Well,
we talking in the
the
winter
Eiffel
or the
Tower.
spring or
In the summer.
it's summer? Okay.
Okay.
Summer in Paris.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm
So-
really wishing you had that picture available to put it.
Oh, she
see?
did it.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing! Yay! Great job. Now you know how to do
There
it.
we
We
go.
got this. We got this. We're gonna have to let Liz have a little bit more time than our other authors, so we can keep seeing where she's at.
So the boat all the way, nope, right there is me.
In the middle or
No.
over your shoulder?
Oh boy, this is hard to do, y'all.
Cover them up with the other two up with your body. There we go. Okay, so the one in the farthest. I know everything's backwards. So if I want to point at Dawn, I have to point the opposite direction. It's weird on here, but all right. Now we're all jealous.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not where I am right now, but it's really close. So yeah.
Who took that picture for you? Was it
this-
like a postcard?
I
I feel like I've seen that scene in my spa.
Right, and they all look the same. Once you've seen beautiful Bahamian waters, you've seen them all. This was
I would
actually
like to
taken on a
test that
hike.
theory.
Oh,
I wouldn't mind testing that
Dawn's-
theory.
Right,
Checking them all out.
she wants to
do a little
test it.
comparison.
Mhm. All right. Well,
Okay.
back to books. What do you have for us tonight? We're
I'm
not
gonna
in the Bahamas
read-
anymore. You're taking us to Paris in the summer.
Taking to Paris in the summer, I'm going to read the first chapter of Rosé with My Fake Fiancé, which came out on Tuesday, and I'm also
Yay.
giving away a copy in our Facebook giveaway. And we're just diving right into chapter 1. So, you ready?
We are ready. We will
Yes.
rejoin you after you're done.
Okay.
And
And
I
I
just
do
gotta say,
have to
before she
apologize.
mutes me, I love the title. That's all I gotta
Oh.
say before she mutes me.
Thank you. The series title is Aged Like Fine Wine, and all the ladies are over 40. So I was very proud of myself for coming up with that one. And I do want to say in advance that the hero is French, and I am not going to do his accent whatsoever. So I apologize. Okay. Tessa. It's hard to stay mad at my friends when they feel so bad for ditching me. Sarah. You're going to have such a fun time without us. You can do all the things you want instead of us dragging you around to the typically touristy stuff. We'll just do all that when we get in tomorrow. Jade. Make new friends. Talk to the table next to you. Hook up with a man. You've got the hotel room to yourself tonight. Winky face. Emma. Have a glass of wine with lunch today on me, all right? I'm so sorry that I screwed up my flight. How did I book the wrong day? No, make it a bottle of wine. That's how sorry I am. Ah, yes, day drinking. That's exactly what I'll do as soon as I find this tour guide, even if it is 9 a.m. This new year, new me situation is not going well. When Jade proposed we all move across the Atlantic, I thought it would be a great opportunity to start fresh. My sister has her own family, and my mother doesn't know who I am anymore most days thanks to her dementia. 5 months after my breakup with James, my circle of friends has dwindled since I moved back out to the suburbs from downtown Austin where I'd lived with James. The best parts of my life were my job and my 3 best friends, and even though we all picked different cities to live in, we agreed that we would meet up once a month. But here I am, sitting all alone in a coffee shop in Paris on what was supposed to be our first weekend trip together. It's a busy summer day, and chatter and sunlight fill the cafe. I got here a half an hour before I was supposed to meet our tour guide, so my pastries are reduced to crumbs and the dregs of my coffee are cold. Excuse me, someone says in French, and I glance up from my phone to see a young woman pointing at the chair opposite me. May I? I perk up. There are no tables available, and sitting with someone is a chance to practice my French and make a new friend. Oui, I say, and move my purse off the chair. She smiles gratefully and then picks up the chair, moving it to the table next to mine where there are 3 other women. Oh, God damn it. I fake a smile and pretend to sip my coffee. Nothing to see here, not me being embarrassing. I glance at the woman out of the corner of my eye. They're younger than me with youthful skin and no gray hairs, mid-30s maybe, and effortlessly fashionable in the way that Parisians are. One of them says something funny and all of them throw back their heads, laughing. Great. I'm sitting alone at a table for one, jealous of strangers. My phone buzzes with a new message in the group chat. Emma, don't listen to Jade. If you aren't ready for a relationship, you're not ready. Jade, who said anything about a relationship? Tessa needs orgasms. Stat. I roll my eyes. Jade thinks orgasms solve everything, which, to be fair, they solve a lot, so maybe she has a point. But I'm a serial monogamist. My orgasms usually come from reliable, steady partners and not from flings or one-night stands. From now on, though, my orgasms will be from the most reliable and steady person in my life, me, because I'm 42 years old. If I was going to get married and have a happily ever after, it would have happened by now. After decades of dating and one failed relationship after another, it's clear that the common denominator is me. Tessa, I will take you up on that wine, Emma. As soon as I ditch the tour guide, I'll head out on my own. I'll have that wine over a Parisian, leisurely gourmet lunch. Very Parisian. Jade, and then some afternoon delight back in the hotel room? Tessa, no afternoon delight, no one-night stand. I'll be fine on my own. I don't need a man. Jade, no one needs a man. Sarah, whatever you do today, just try to have fun without us, okay? Love you. Fun. It's a long shot, but I'll try. What I need is a clean slate, a fresh start. While I've traveled all over the world, I've never lived outside of Texas, and this is my chance. Once I get settled into Portugal, where I have a 1-year visa under their digital nomad policy, I will make new friends. I will travel on the weekends, solo travel, and trips to visit my friends scattered throughout Europe. And I will not, under any circumstances, waste my time looking for a man. The bell above the door chimes with a new customer walking into the coffee shop, this one wearing a bright blue polo with the tour company's name on it. He scans the room, probably looking for a table of 4 women. His eyes meet mine for a moment, and I start to smile at him and raise my hand, but he keeps going before I can wave to get his attention. Ugh. My cheeks heat in embarrassment, and I can practically feel the pity radiating off the surrounding tables. I know how to sit by myself at a cafe and enjoy it, but today I just can't muster up the enthusiasm. The tour guide is cute, young, or at least younger than me, in his early 30s most likely, or maybe even late 20s. He has brown hair on the longer side that tassels nicely, a wide mouth, and cheeks that are already flushed from the morning heat. His gaze lands on the table next to me, the 4 younger women, and he starts to head their way. I pick up my cup and sling my bag over my shoulder. I'm dressed sensibly for the day in stretchy jeans, flats, and a flowy top, perfect for walking the city and enjoying the summer weather. Paris is my favorite city. I trust it to cheer me up. I cut him off before he arrives at the table. When he notices me approaching, his eyes light up, and he looks me over for a quick moment as an easy smile pops onto his face. Good morning, he says, and I nearly roll my eyes because I haven't even opened my mouth, and he already knows I'm a native English speaker and can probably guess that I'm American. I swear the French, especially Parisians, have this sixth sense about who can and cannot speak their language. Except I have a trick up my sleeve. I've been a regular visitor to Paris for decades, maybe even longer than this guy has been alive. So I smile demurely and answer him in French. Bonjour, vous me... Oh boy. I don't know how to say that. Are you looking for me, is what she says. His smile widens and he answers me in French, which pleases me. I'm always looking for a beautiful woman. Okay, cheesy line, but the teasing in his eyes brings it down on the side of flattery. This close, I can read the name embroidered on his shirt, Luke. No, I say, for the tour. I'm Tessa O'Keefe. I apologize, but I have to cancel. His smile droops the tiniest bit. Cancel because... I paste on a fake smile. It's hard to hide my disappointment that I'm alone. My friends couldn't make it to the city in time. I didn't know I had to cancel until late last night. Ah, he says, but you're here. Yes, well, I know my way around Paris, and I don't need a tour guide. You've got the day off. I try to say it as upbeat as possible, cringing inside that I've wasted this man's time. Unfortunately, he says, we have a 48-hour cancellation policy, so I won't be able to refund your money. I wave him off. No, that's fine. Of course, you keep the money. His smile, which has dimmed upon delivering the bad news, brightens again. If you've already paid, and I have no plans for the day, then why not take the tour? I bite my lip. I haven't taken an organized tour in ages, and a tour for one without my best friends sounds so dull. There's too much pressure on me to ooh and ah all day. Ah, what is that? He says, pointing at my mouth. I pop my lip out from between my teeth. Nothing. Please, tell me. Why not take the tour with me? I've been to Paris a lot. Everything we were going to do today, I've already done, and I'm fine on my own. Those words echo in my head. I'm fine on my own. Luke leans towards me, ducking down to tilt his head toward mine. It's intimate. His eyes sparkle, and there's a flicker of attraction in my stomach. It surprises me, mostly because Luke is obviously too young for me, but also because it's been 5 months since I broke up with my ex, and this is the first sign of interest in anyone. Okay, maybe Jade wasn't completely out of line with her suggestion. That doesn't mean I'm going to hook up tonight, but if someone comes along who's attractive and interested and of an appropriate age, I'll think about it. Luke pulls my attention back to him and says, are you saying you think my tour might be boring? No, I say too quickly. He laughs. I may have been thinking it, but I would never say it. Please, he says, touching a hand to his chest. I'm a very good tour guide, and there is nothing I love more than showing a beautiful woman around the city. Okay, being called beautiful twice by a cute man is working like a charm because I can feel myself melting. Luke is obviously a flirt. Must be great for tips after the tour, I imagine. But what's the harm in taking a tour I've already paid for? When Jade and Sarah had to cancel, I hung on to the idea of doing a guided tour with Emma, who had never been to Paris before. But she bailed on me this morning. Without her, I pictured myself roaming a city I knew and loved while having to listen to a way too chipper teenager over-enthusiastically take me to all the major tourist attractions that I tired of visiting after my first half-dozen trips to the city. I did not picture a more mature, attractive man flirting with me. Now, he says, and he's still up close. His eyelashes are long and lighter, framing his eyes. I liked them already when he was flirty, and now that he's serious, they're even more striking. Can you really tell me that you'll have more fun without me? He presses a palm to his chest like I've offended him. My friend's words echo through my head. Just try to have fun. When did I become so jaded that even a stranger could tell that I was no fun anymore? Luke continues, me, the best tour guide in Paris? I raise an eyebrow. That's a bold claim. He grins slyly. Well, take the tour and find out. Despite myself, I chuckle. Who knows? Maybe this will be fun.
Love it.
Right. We love listening to you, and also all had a little bit of fun with our backgrounds while
Oh my God, Danika!
while you were busy. So,
You
Dawn,
are
you're
hilarious.
muted. I can't unmute you, Dawn. You have to do it yourself.
I said, well, what the hell at the last when I realized I was muted. I was like, yeah, right? Like Dylan was like, oh, we got our backgrounds. And I was like, Danica's like, ooh.
I had to be,
She wins.
calendar firefighters. Where are they?
She had to
Calendar
win.
Firefighters.
Yes,
There you
and
go.
I put in our little chat between us, I said, you're still on brand for Romance Happy Hour. So way to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
Now we can't all be in the Bahamas, but hey.
I know. I'm so sorry.
So
Or in
thanks for-
Paris.
I know. I was gonna say thanks for sharing. That was fun.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say unfortunately relatable, as you know, but fortunately relatable, because I think, just that last part where she said, she's jaded and she used to be fun. I mean, gosh, don't you just feel that way sometimes when you're, yelling at your kids for the 100th time, or I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Dog.
10 o'clock at night here, and it's past my bedtime. So
Right?
very
You
relatable
did
to me.
amazing. Yeah. You did so great. And I gotta say that like I feel like I love my husband, but he needs to, maybe we need to like role play or something. He needs to be like a tour guide. I mean, that was amazing. It was so cute. It made me want to like fall in love all over again. Like seriously, meet the one all over again.
Isn't that one of the
Great
perks of reading romance is you get to fall in love,
Yes.
with
So
every
true.
book you
Yes.
read. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And I
But no-
and I do gotta say, I already fell in love with him. He was so cute, like so
Mhm.
like I wanted to fall in love with him.
He's
Perfect
very
job,
charming.
great job. Yeah.
And how
Yeah.
old is he, Liz? 30
He's,
what?
he's 31.
31.
So he's not a baby.
Oh, that's a brave woman. I found myself divorced at 40, and there is no way I would have dated a man who was 10 years younger than me. I was not secure enough to do that.
But yet you'll have men who are
Oh,
Yeah. How old do you think those men
how
are behind you, Danika?
Well, I'm allowed
Yeah.
to fantasize, but I wouldn't want to raise another one.
yes.
Well, I will assure you, you have to
True.
read to find out why I say this, but Luke is a very mature, responsible man. So
Oh, look at that. Gracie Ellis says that her husband is 10 years her junior.
Wow, I
And
just
and
admire
I
that
gotta
so
say,
much.
You go, girl.
I actually noted here on my little thing, she has her own hero for her own book. I can tell. She said he was, I think, a firefighter and now he's a pilot.
Mhm.
Like,
That is true.
oh yeah, she's got
That is
her
true.
own little romance novel going on there.
Mhm.
It sounds like,
Mhm.
anyways.
Yep.
Brava. I don't know if I said that
Wow.
right, but
And I
like
don't know
really
who
brava.
is that Linda? I don't know. Is that Linda who we can't see her name, but
It might be.
her mom was 45 and dated and eventually married a man that was 30. Wow.
Oh,
My husband is
yeah.
18 months younger than me, and we're at that point right now where it's only like I'm like 1 year older, but I'm about to have a birthday here coming up, and then it'll look like I'm 2 years older than him again. I don't know why. It just bothers me.
So
I
Dylan,
am
I'm sorry. Don't. So go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just
'Cause
gonna say
would
I
be
am
like,
5 months younger than my husband, so not much at all.
oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is.
So we have two cougars here then. Two cougars here.
I guess. I mean, technically. So we have
That's
questions
awesome
though,
for your
Dawn.
husband.
I see
We
questions
do.
coming through, so we should probably get to some more
We
questions.
do. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Facebook user, because Karen's got a ton, but
I think
um,
Facebook user is Linda tonight.
I think so. What is
Yes.
your favorite underappreciated novel?
Good question.
Am I going first now?
Sure. Yes, you go first.
Okay. All right. So for anybody who loves The Hating Game or By a Thread by Lucy Score, you need to check out Dukakis's Apprentice by Sarah Morgan, which is a Harlequin romance, and it has so many like similar vibes, but without some of the things that people think are annoying about The Hating Game. I love The Hating Game. It's one of my favorite books, but Dukakis's Apprentice is like way up there. It is so good and very sexy.
So, what is your favorite underappreciated novel of yours too?
Of my books.
I mean, I don't know how she intended the question. That's how I read it, and so, but both work because yeah, I think depending on your inflection, it could go either way.
Okay.
But yeah, let's hear about your books too.
Now that I've plugged someone else,
right? I know. I was like, that was a very confident recommendation,
Yeah.
and then you named someone else's book, and I was a little disappointed.
Okay, so for my books, there's a book called The Player in New Zealand, which came out about a year ago. And it's a heroine who goes to New Zealand on a working holiday visa and works in a bar. And her boss is this super grumpy ex-rugby player, and they're both grumps. So that's a lot of fun and unusual. But my favorite thing about this book is like out of the Love and Wanderlust series, which is all based on my travels, New Zealand's one of my favorite places, which I know is another question people have asked. But that book is really funny and really smutty. And I love that there's a sex injury in it. So if anybody has that kind of thing on their list.
Sorry. You could have just started with that, because now we're all going to go read that. I mean, that's all you really had to say was, yeah. So, okay.
Yeah.
Make note.
Yeah. Fine. Do we have time? Do we have time for me to say mine?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Go for it.
I am going to start as well, like Liz did. I think she's the most underappreciated rom-com writer is Eliza Gordon. I have read all of her books. I love her. Must Love Otters, Luke Pie Walker, something. She's written one that's got it's The Rock who's kind of like the character who is anyway, they're hilarious, they're funny. Welcome to Planet Lara is one that is a trilogy that she wrote. I think it was last year. Anyway, I just really love her books. And in terms of my own, I think Her Seasoned Delivery it's a novella, but it features a 42-year-old woman who has in vitro fertilization because she's decided she wants to have the baby, which turns out to be the babies, without the hassle of the guy. And when she's put on bed rest and she can't get her craving for clam smoothies fulfilled because they won't deliver, and she's not allowed to leave her house, she ends up meeting the former owner of the restaurant who was making them, who has been sold out of his company because he'd had a heart attack a year earlier. So
Oh.
he becomes her. He ends up, but they end up the couple. And I loved writing the older characters. It's fun to write mature characters as opposed to the 20 somethings. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
No sex injuries, but I would love to write a book with sex injuries in it now.
Are
Yeah.
clam smoothies really a thing?
You
I
know,
was gonna say,
Jennifer commented that they're awesome until they happen to you, and I have to tell you that the one that's in this book happened to me. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
now we really have to read
Wait,
it.
when you first said they're awesome,
Everybody
so
go read it.
I thought you were talking about the clam smoothies for a second, because I think we're talking, we're answering different questions.
all right.
And I was gonna say, yeah, clam
So-
smoothies sound great, but I don't think that I would like that. But yeah,
There you go.
that would apply to sex injuries as well. So yeah, now we've all got to go
And
look that up. And I could imagine that could
And
be like a risk if you're in such a small space on a sailboat all the time. You might be
That's
more
a
at
true
risk.
story.
Remind me of the name again.
And I
Liz?
gotta say,
it is The Player in New Zealand.
The Player in New Zealand. Okay.
Yeah.
and now we're gonna give a challenge to you both. The first one to write a clam smoothie sex injury book will get extra exposés here on
Extra what?
Romance Happy Hour. extra features on Romance Happy Hour. Yeah,
All right, Dawn's gone off the rails.
Ugh,
I
clam
have.
smoothie.
That means
Oh,
I've
boy.
had 2 drinks now.
Well, in such a lovely living room, I just want to know how you keep your house so clean.
I know. Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, my kids, I have 4 kids, but no, I do.
Or is
I
that
have 4
is that
kids.
one of
They
the
clean the
houses
house.
that is for sale? That's one of your listings.
Yeah, I snuck in just for tonight. Yeah. No, I actually toured a $5.9 million property today. I was like pretty amazed. This is nicer though. So this would definitely be a $6 million house.
Yeah, we need to come to Montana for a romance happy hour.
You sure do.
If you've
Yeah, we
got
only got one
connections.
season left. We only got
At a
one season left
$6 million
of Yellowstone filming here, Dylan. So
But I heard you went to all that work and you were there for so long, and then they cut you and all we saw was your hair. I mean, that's just so
you
disappointing.
saw the back of my head, though. You saw the back
Yeah.
of my head.
You were in the last season.
I mean, there was,
Dawn?
but it was the whole back of me. Yeah, you saw the whole back of me. My
And
bun
you know what? I
bobbing
still
around.
don't know which one is you, because there were so many blonde women in that scene. You're gonna have to
Which one?
do a freeze scene on your screen and then circle which one you are, because I didn't know.
But
I couldn't tell.
which one? The governor's speech or the one where he was talking to Don Oliveira?
I don't.
Yes,
Whichever
I'm
one you were
saying.
in. You told me you got cut
I
out
was
of all
in.
the
I
others.
was in 4. No, I was in one.
Okay.
Where Jamie
I
was
thought you were
talking to Sarah.
I thought you were in one at the party. We can talk about this later.
No,
We
I want to
will.
know.
Can.
Post it somewhere because
We
I want
will
to know.
figure this out, because I was
I
under
was in the
impression
governor's speech. I was in the
that you
party,
got
but I'm
cut.
like way in the background. You can barely see me blurry walking by. And then I
Okay.
was in the governor's speech down in the right-hand corner next to a douchebag. And then I was in and then I was in the one where Jamie's talking to Sarah at like a fancy restaurant, and you can see the back of my head with like a little bun, and you can see this dork next to me going, because he was like pantomiming literally everything we did. He was a horrible actor, horrible background actor, pantomiming literally everything. So if you see that,
All
you'll
right.
know where I am.
Okay, we're gonna need that listed out so we can go back and look.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'll list
right.
it.
And I know we didn't get to all the questions, but we are out of time for tonight. So Danika and Liz, if you want to go back, you can comment on any of the questions on the Romance Happy Hour Facebook page, and get those answered for people, because I saw we do still have a couple coming in. And I'm sorry we talked so much. We went a little off topic tonight. now that we found a new toy and can change our backgrounds.
We did.
So we'll be better next time. I think. I hope. So,
and
but
we may not have hot firefighters behind us next time too.
I know.
Also just
But
Well,
Dawn, you've got a hot firefighter book coming. It's perfect for your.
I do.
You know,
It
I think.
is.
and I feel like now that we know how to do that and have time, the stakes have been raised. So we'll see.
Yes,
We'll have to see
for
what happens.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
Where
I want
we
to
end up.
remind everybody that we have giveaway for both of you posted up on the Romance Happy Hour Facebook page, and we'll leave that open through the weekend so everybody can have a chance to go over and enter. And any parting comments from either one of you, Danika or Liz? Do you have any live events or book signings or Kickstarters or anything coming up that we need to know about?
I mean, as I said, Rosé with my fake fiance just came out on Tuesday, and the next book is up for pre-order, which is called Riesling with My Roommate.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I've got the Billionaire's Shrubbery, which is the first book in a new series, up for pre-order, coming out on July 10th at the latest. It's probably
And when do your librarian billionaire, when do those start coming out?
We don't have a date. We've got to get covers for them, but once we have covers, that's why I say sometime in May, I hope.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll be fun.
Well, we'll look for that and then let us know when you have release dates set up for that, and we'll be happy to post it on the page to let everybody know.
Thanks so much, Dylan. Thanks, Dawn.
Yeah, thanks, y'all. This was fun.
Thanks for
Yeah,
coming back. We loved having you guys tonight.
Yeah, it was fun. Nice to see you, Liz.
I'm always worried that, we scare people away the first time they come on. So it's nice when we have people that
Yeah.
actually are brave enough to come back. So, and thank you everybody for joining us. We will see you. Gosh, I can't even believe it's already May. We'll see you the second Thursday in May is when we'll be back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Bye.
And
All right.
I will either
Bye.
be here or I will be dead. Yep.
Good luck. Survive.
She has her 10K
At the
thing.
Right.
Army crawling.
Wow.
At the Spartan. I'll be dead at the Spartan. No.
Okay. Well, let's hope for the best, Dawn. I have no doubt. Somebody will scoop you up and throw
My
you on the
husband
back
will
of an
bring me
ATV
home.
if need be. All right.
He will. But if I don't show up, I'll try to send him. I know I've promised that for years, but
Yeah, you have. All right. I don't even believe that anymore. But all right. We will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
bye.